Well, good afternoon, everyone. I just want to begin first thanking the opportunity to speak to you and to share some of our strategies on how to build capacity for quality research in Fundacion ARU in Bolivia. Second, I would like to mention that the strategies I'm going to show you for sure are appropriate, but for the Bolivian context, which is very particular, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. And third and most important is that I didn't make this presentation, so Paul should be credited for all, if you like the presentation, and he also should be blamed if there's any mistake in the presentation. Okay, I'm going to talk about three things. I'm going to talk about the meaning of quality research for us, the context of we face for doing quality research, and I'm going to talk about our approach to quality research. However, in the morning when we were in the first session, I was thinking, and I think some point is missing there, that is, why do we need quality research? Why do we care about quality research? And I would like to begin with that, that's not in the presentation, and says that for us, everything is about quality research. Because we believe that the only way, first you have to define what is quality research. You have to define what is evidence. When you talk about like evidence-based policies, well, what is evidence? And in our view, evidence is a stock of knowledge that is created through a flow of quality research. So, as the saying goes, there can be one swallow doesn't make a summer. Did that ring the bell? We believe that one piece of research is not enough evidence. To construct evidence, you need a whole process of creating a flow of research, and that is very, very difficult to do, at least in our context. Okay, then what is the meaning of quality research for us? Then I think there are four attributes that make quality research. The first is that the research should be relevant and specific. And by relevant and specific, we mean that it's very easy to study something that you know or something that you would like to know, but it's very difficult to study something that the policymakers want to know or that your country needs to know. So we believe that the first characteristic that defines quality research is that research has to be relevant and specific in terms of the question and the objectives they want to answer and they are pursuing. The second characteristic is that research should be evidence-based. And by evidence-based, I mean it requires data. You can't do research without data. It can be qualitative data, it can be quantitative data, but unfortunately, you can talk a lot and you can give opinion on some issues, but you're not going to do serious research if you don't have data and quality data. The third characteristics that defines quality research in our point of view is that it should be technically sound. Technically sound meaning that the methods that the research is using should be appropriate for the problem and the data at hand. As you can't do econometric models with qualitative data, and you can't do like context analysis with quantitative data. And finally, the fourth characteristic we think it's very important is that research should be policy relevant. It should discuss extensively all potential implications, and not only the policy implications, but also the political economy that surround that implications. And as you're going to see, we're going to see that the context for these issues in the case of Bolivia is not so good. Well, what is the Bolivian context? The good thing is that we have a lot of relevant issues. If you want to study elephants, you should go to Kruger Park. We went there like 2 days ago, and we saw like 500 elephants. So if you want to study elephants, go to Kruger Park. That's a publicity. But if you want to analyze, for example, the absence of economic growth with zero average growth rate over the last 50 years, or the large inequalities in income, in wealth, in opportunities, or fragmented society with high indexes of ethno-linguistic fragmentation or polarized political situations, or if you want to study countries that has like 3 constitutions over the last 20 years, then you should go to Bolivia, because we are experimenting all these issues. And this has to do with the issue of timing that I believe sometimes is confused from the issue of relevancy of the research. Some people said that the research should be on time for influencing the political process. But I think the issues are on the table, and the research should be high quality in order to influence, because you're not going to respond with short-term consultancy to what the minister wants to do. You want to do structural research on the structural issues that your country is facing and lacks information on. Well, that was the good thing. The other 3 are the bad things. We have scarce data. Datum generated by public institutions with public funds, with our taxes, is usually not publicly available. When available, is not always as consistent or as transparent as one would like them to be, and this is put it in a very elegant way. And private efforts into the international cooperation surveys are scarce and disperse at best. The other issue is that you have scarce researchers. We have in Bolivia some very well-trained researchers, but they are more prone to look for a more predictable career path abroad. At Fundacion ARU, we hire a PhD guy who stays with us one year, and then he moves to the IMF, where he can do less work and maybe earn better money. Or the other thing is they can do more profitable local quick response consultancy jobs. Again, at Fundacion ARU, we had a former ministry of Bolivia in the hydrocarbon sector, but the amount we are offering to him to be the salary is not enough. It's what he can get in working 2 weeks in any Arabian country. So he's still as an associate researcher, but he's not a main researcher now. And well, the third thing is, from our point of view, we have a low quality research on average, measuring quality research but by the number of peer-reviewed publications relative to other countries in our region. So this is the context. What do we do? What we are doing is, first, we have defined our research agenda. Okay. And we have done this in a very participant way. Those are the issues we are studying. It's very focused on the issues we want to answer. Second, we have established an initiative to recollect all data that is in the garbage of many institutions and make it public, and collect new data. We have established this Bolivian survey microdata network with 6 major universities in the country. We have, in order to solve this absence of researchers, we think we're going to have to cut apples from the trees. So we established this ARU scholarship that tries to finance master education for the best students in economics in our country. And we have established this mentorship program where we can recruit young guys, train them, invest in them, and promoting them to go to study abroad. And finally, we have implemented ex-ante and ex-post quality control. Ex-ante is we have established reproducibility protocols and publication protocols. Reproducibility meaning that the data should be public, and the programs that generate the tables or the graphs should also be public and should reproduce the number, because in Bolivia we have a lot of papers saying the number is this, and when you do the data, it's different. And we have established institutional spaces for discussion. We call it fight clubs. And we have two types of these spaces. One is technical. This is the applied research workshop. We're very academic. And the other is this evidence-based meeting when they focus on policy implications and not much on methods. Well, finally, then the elephant in the room again. What is the contribution to quality research from our point of view to this, to our institution? Well, I should say at first, when we won the TTI initiative, I was very skeptic about whether the funds we were getting would improve quality research, because I have a very neoclassic idea that good ideas would find funding for themselves. But along these 2 years, I recognize that investments such as data collection or training of young researchers or establishing these quality control procedures or establishing long-term agendas cannot be contingent on the delivery of a consultancy report. So we were very happy. We are now very happy, everyone, with the TTI contribution. And something that came up from our table is that we have core funding, but an additional thing that could be useful is a fund that could serve many institutions that are lacking data to collect data, for example, to apply to collect data, or a fund to train researchers, since the ones that are engaged in these activities have very large transaction costs of doing those things that maybe for the TTI guys to think about this. And that's it. Thank you very much.